Do you enjoy magic and crazy battles? Well, today you're in luck. Hey guys, my name is Leia, and welcome to Anime Recap Pro. Today we will check out the 2013 hit series Tokyo Ravens. But before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate your support. And with that, let's get started. After the Great Catastrophe, which saw an onmyoji type of magician damage the country's spirit energy, causing the spiritual disturbances all over the place, Japan was plunged into chaos. Although coming from a line of onmyoji, Hotora Tsuchimikado is entirely unpowered. He is unable to see spirit energy. As a result, he has been living peacefully with his pals at Branch School of Onmyo. Hokuto spends the day teaching Harutora how to become an Onmyo magician. When Harutora unexpectedly runs into Natsume, a childhood acquaintance, on the walk home, he offends her, and she leaves. Toji informs Harutora of Natsume's remarks the following day before they meet Hokuto at the festival. If Harutora wins, Hokuto promises him a kiss, but he jokingly backs off and says he'll take care of the ribbon instead. Suzuka Dairenji shows up to the event as Harutora and Hokuto argue about her ima. Suzuka enters before Harutora can pursue her and requests his assistance with a ceremony she wants to execute since she believes Harutora to be Natsume. Suzuka uses Asura to wash away the Magical Investigation Bureau's attempt to arrest her for using banned magic, and in the process she manages to capture Harutora. Suzuka leaves Hokuto with a message for Natsume and kisses him when Hokuto shows up there and reveals Harutora's true identity. Hokuto alludes to her adoring Harutora while avoiding him the following day, before being called away to meet Natsume, where Suzuka's familiar inside of Harutora's stomach after she kissed him steals Natsume's spiritual powers. Toji and Harutora discuss what Suzuka wanted. Harutora encounters Suzuka while taking Natsume home, so he gives Natsume to an officer and heads there. Before Harutora can nearly persuade Suzuka to halt, the Magical Investigation Bureau operatives are overpowered by Suzuka's juggernaut and spiritually destroyed. Suzuka is bound by Magic Investigation Department agent who is severely hurt. Furious, she summons her juggernaut to murder the agent. Harutora saves the agent, but just as he is about to pass away, Hokuto gives her life to save Harutora. Harutora, mourning Hokuto's passing alone, finds Natsume and befriends her. Suzuka retaliates by sending her juggernaut and Asura as Natsume and Harutora ride Yukikage, a familiar in the shape of a white horse, to block their path to the shrine. Harutora devises a plan to defeat the Juggernaut as Natsume and Harutora fight the two as the Juggernaut constructs a defensive barrier around the shrine. Harutora falls off Yukikage amid the conflict and Natsume cries out for Hokuto, the family guardian dragon, to come and save him. Suzuka prevents Harutora and Natsume from reaching the shrine after Hokuto fights the Asura and successfully delays the oncoming Juggernaut. Eventually, Suzuka summons a spirit pulse dominating her brother's body and is currently choking her. After saving Suzuka with the help of Natsume and Harutora, Suzuka is allowed to bid her brother farewell to the Harutora properly. Natsume then explains that Hokuto's real controller was someone else who was still alive and that the talisman familiar was a manipulation type. When Harutora first sees Natsume in Tokyo after enrolling at Onmyo Prep School, he gives a false impression that he had known the entire time that Hokuto was Natsume. Then Tiji shows up after enrolling at Onmyo Prep School. The two act is unduly acquainted with one another, and is discreetly revealed that Tiji is aware of Hokuto's controller was Natsume. Harutora is unaware that Natsume still has her ribbon. As their relationship is about to take off, Harutora and Tiji depart with Natsume. Harutora and Toji arrive at Onmyo Academy, where they meet the official Shikigami Alpha, Omega, and the principal, Mio Kurahashi. They discuss Natsume and Yako Tsuchimikado's alleged relationship. Harutora and Toji introduce themselves as their new classmates and meet Tenma Momo. Harutora encounters his Shikigami-kon and is punished by Natsume. The following day, Kyoko gets angry at Harutora and summons her Shikigami. Jin Otomo suggests a Shikigami combat, and Harutora and Kon prepare to battle Kyoko's Shikigami, Hako, and Kokufu. Kyoko, while battling with Harutora, recalls her commitment to the Tsuchimikado boy from her childhood. Harutora's overcharged Boken energy explodes, and he loses the battle against Kyoko. Jin Otomo calls an end to the combat, and Harutora gains popularity in his class because of his confrontation, which makes Natsume angry. Later, Kyoko apologizes to Harutora for her unpleasant behavior caused by her mistaken belief that Natsume was the person she met as a youngster. She pledged the Tsuchimikado boy, which she believes Natsume has forgotten. When Natsume arrives and sees Harutora and Kyoko together, she becomes angry and upset. Natsume is then kidnapped by Onmyo Agency magic investor who is actually a Yako disciple. Harutora and the others locate the Yako disciple and the fake demon he summons. Harutora successfully breaks the fake demon's seal, and Natsume summons her Shikigami dragon Hokuto to kill the bogus demon. After the incident, Kyoko admits to the Harutora that she likes Natsume and wants to start dating her. However, Harutora cannot inform her that Natsume is a girl posing as a boy. After their talk, Harutora sees a younger version of Kyoko in a flashback of a girl whom he made a promise. Harutora, a student at school for Shikigami users, is mistaken for being on a date with Natsume, a girl he has feelings for, by the dorm mothers who take embarrassing photos of them together. Rumors about their relationship spread throughout the school, and Toji suggests they go shopping together to avoid further speculation. They get lost and end up in a love hotel to hide from people pursuing them. Kon, another student, helps them escape, and they encounter Jin Otomo, who apprehends someone who had previously abducted Natsume. Meanwhile, Aisha Doman talks to a man who appears interested in Harutora and is revealed to be a genuine Kakugyoki due to his missing arm. Harutora and Toji are preparing for their final exams at Onmyo Academy with Natsume's help. During their practical exam, Harutora defeats one of Kyoko's Shikigami, and Toji learns about the exam from Mio, who believes he may struggle due to his past trauma. Meanwhile, Jin, Amami, and Hirata discuss the Twin Horn Syndicate's plans after the spiritual catastrophe 2 years ago, while Duman contacts Motube to carry out a new disaster. During the practical exam, Inoue appears due to the intensifying miasma, causing Natsume to call on Hokuto for help. Reiji Kagami arrives to pursue the Nue and discovers that Toji is transforming into a half-ogre due to the miasma's effects. Toji, who was previously under the control of the ogre, disappears after being treated by Harutora's father. Sanjiro, Kogure, and Reiji suspect the Twin Horn Syndicate of causing the catastrophe and pursue the Nue. Natsume uses her dragon, Hokuto, to battle the disaster, while Harutora and his friends search for Toji. Kakugyoki informs Harutora of Toji's location before disappearing. Meanwhile, Reiji and Iwao attempt to destroy Chimera 1, and Mari constructs a unique barrier to contain it. Chihiro uses a spell to advance Chimera 1 into a Phase 4 phenomenon. Natsume and Zenjiro pursue the Nue after observing the Chimera 1 evolve into a Phase 4 phenomenon. Meanwhile, Toji wakes up in the hospital and learns that Mio has broken the ogre seal. Chihiro Mutobe prevents Natsume and Zenjiro from pursuing the Nue, but Toji later decides to aid Harutora in the fight against it. They manage to purify the Nue, and Reiji Kagami comments that Natsume's fame will re-energize Yako followers. Otomo cautions Reiji to stay away from his pupils, and Zenjiro informs them that Chihiro has died. Ashiya Duman fails to take the Nue, and the Taizen Fukun rite is conducted to conclude the ritual. Suzuka Dairenji enrolls at the Onmyo Academy 1 month after the second Great Purification event. The Onmyo agency punished her for an event she started last year, so they enrolled her in the academy for re-education. Harutora is questioned because Suzuka claims that he was her first kiss, and he notices her during a wedding. Natsume is worried about Suzuka because she witnessed Natsume dressing as a girl during a previous incident. Suzuka reveals to Harutora that the Onmyo agency sealed most of her magic abilities and sentenced her to 3 years in the academy. Harutora advises Suzuka to be aware of Natsume's family custom of dressing as a guy. Suzuka is relieved when Harutora reveals that she didn't kill Hokuto. She observes Natsume's presence after their chat and recognizes her as the girl dressed in priestess attire. Suzuka continues to harass Natsume and Harutora even after discovering that Natsume's true gender. She decides not to tell anyone and looks into the rooms as retribution. Natsume calls Hokuto to resolve the conflict. Meanwhile, Kon remains in her physical form, and Toji blames Natsume and Suzuka for the spells cast in the closet. The school is put on tiger alert when Shikigami is mistaken for a tiger, and Zenjiro thinks someone set the tiger to harm the students. Suzuka helps Kon escape, but Zenjiro attacks them. Kon sheds her bodily form, and Suzuka is found dozing off next to a plush toy of a one-eyed tiger. The entire class of Harutora reveals to a Shikigami training facility in the Highlands. To Harutora and Natsume's dismay, Suzuka also goes on the tour. Then, to defend themselves against the Yako believers pursuing Natsume, Toji and Suzuka ask for a partnership. She agrees, prompting Natsume to inquire about Suzuka's veracity as Yako's reincarnation. Suzuka thinks Natsume is, but she is unsure. She explains to them about Yako's raven coat, a spiritual artifact he once wore that could reveal whether Natsume is his reincarnation. The principal and Jin Otomo overhear their chat. Based on the information he obtained from a man named Ryo Sotome, Jin believes that the actual Ravencoat is located in Onmyo Academy and that the one in Onmyo Agency is really a replica. The following day, Kyoko approaches Harutora and asks if he genuinely likes Suzuka. Suzuka suddenly enters the scene and starts ranting about Harutora prefers Hokuto to her. Kyoko speculates that Hokuto's controller must have been extremely powerful to make Hokuto appear genuine for so long after hearing Harutora's explanation of how Hokuto was a Shikigami being controlled outside. Later, during the bus journey home, Harutora spots the pink ribbon in Natsume's hair and realizes that it matches the ribbon he got for Hokuto at fair, leading him to think that Natsume is actually Hokuto's controller. Well, that's it for today. Want to find out what Natsume does to Harutora in the coming days? Stay tuned for part 2.